What I mean is, can you be scary?
Oh, I know what you're asking me. Can it be scary? What do you think of this? You like it?
I need to try something new. Hopefully I don't completely destroy this piece. Holy that is completely different.
It's showtime.
Hey everyone, Luke here. Today we're going to be summoning the ghost with the most, Beetlejuice. Hold on to your hats and perhaps your heads as we dive into the wonderfully weird world of the afterlife. And as always, we're going to be starting this painting with an acrylic underpainting. I'm going to be using some raw umber paint, going to be blocking out a lot of the big shapes and narrowing in some of the dark and light values. My goal here is to be accurate but loose. I want to make sure that my proportions are correct because this is a portrait of a well-recognized character, but I do want it to have a loose feeling. At the end of the day, this is a painting, and I really still want it to have that painterly feel to it. I've recently started to add a little bit of titanium white into my underpainting. All I do with this is I try to exaggerate some of the lighter values so that my underpainting makes a little bit more sense to me as I get into the painting phase. Speaking of the painting phase, I absolutely love preparing my palette before we begin, and this one I'm going to be doing a little bit different than normal. Because Beetlejuice has this very unique ghoulish green, I'm going to be introducing some phthalo green into my palette, which is a color I very rarely use. I'm not going to be using a black for this painting. I'm going to be mixing my Ultramarine Blue and my Alizarin Chrismon to make a black hue. The interesting thing about making a black hue like this is that I can control how warm or how cool the black is by adding more red or more blue to make it more warm or cool respectively. When I'm pre-mixing my palette, I'm not trying to do like a paint by numbers and mix every single color and hue that's going to be in this painting. I'm mainly trying to focus on the different color groups that are in the painting, focusing on the darkest value of that particular hue and the lightest value of that hue, and mixing a few steps in between. I do have to admit, sometimes I get a little bit carried away with this and mix a lot of colors, but realistically, you should have a dark, a few mid-tones leading towards your lightest tone should suffice for most paintings. Now that I'm in the painting process, I always really like to focus on the most difficult part first, or the most important part. Seeing as this is a portrait of a very iconic character like Beetlejuice, I really want to make sure I nail those characteristic parts down pat, so I really try and focus a lot of my energy first with something like the eyes. A pretty astonishing fact about the movie was that Michael Keaton's character only had about 17 minutes in the entire movie, which is really strange because when you think about the movie, the first thing that comes to mind is his character. It really goes to show how much of a strong impression one character can leave and really define a movie from with such a small amount of screen time. This was really illustrated to me when I was trying to get reference photos for this painting. There's not a lot of scenes to go from. And what's even more astonishing, knowing that Michael Keaton's character was only in the movie for 17 minutes, was that they actually won an Academy Award for Best Makeup. I think all this really goes to show how iconic this character was in this movie. If you haven't seen my videos before, I really enjoy painting wet paint into wet paint, a term called alla prima. And as we get to painting this infamous wild hare, you're going to see the benefit of painting this way. So I'm going to start with the background first and then work towards painting his wild and unruly hair. So the benefit of painting wet into wet, as you might be able to see as I'm painting the hair here, is that part of the paint mixes as you're doing your brush strokes. As a result, it actually creates a really soft transition, which is really beneficial when you're painting any sort of hair or anything that you sort of want to get lost a little bit in the background and create some depth. Honestly, I don't think I would ever paint hair any other way than by using this alla prima method, and if you haven't tried it, I really suggest you try it. One of the things that I think I struggled a lot with this painting was trying to capture that devilish grin he has. It really says I'm up to no good, and it completely defines his character, and capturing that is absolutely key for this painting. The problem is that as I was going to come back and do some finishing touches to this painting, I ran into a problem. Okay, all right, let me get you caught up to speed. Basically, I'm in the final home stretch of this painting, but I've ran into a phenomenon called sinking in, where basically some of the painting has cured with a different finish than other parts of the painting. And as you can see, some of the blacks look gray, and some of the dark colors are more glossy, some are more matte. And the problem is I can't actually see what the true color is. And so I don't have a good judge of what's going wrong with some of these areas because the finish is inconsistent right now. I need to try something new that I've never done before. And it's called oiling out. This isn't normally a scary thing to do, but I've never done it. So I'm a little bit cautious about doing it on something that I'm so close to finishing. I'm gonna try this oiling out, and hopefully I don't completely destroy this piece by doing this. I really hope that doesn't happen. Wish me luck. I'm gonna take you through live with me on this one. I'm gonna use one of these like makeup brushes. I'm gonna put a very light amount of this refined linseed oil on there. I'm gonna start slow. Holy, that is completely different. Wow. I hope this is getting picked up on the camera. That is insane. Look at that difference. Holy. And here are the differences before and after oiling out. You can see a lot of those sunken in areas start to get resaturated, as well as a lot of the other colors show their true color so that I can go back and touch up these areas. I can honestly say I'm actually happy I had this issue, because oiling out has completely changed the way I'm going to approach paintings going forward. This is an issue that has challenged me for a long time, and finally I've been put in a position where I needed to oil out, and I couldn't be happier with the results. And with these final touches, I can say my last Beetlejuice to bring this painting to life. If you enjoyed this painting and you want a copy of your very own, I am selling prints on my website with a link to it down in the description. If you had a chance to go see the new movie, let me know down in the comments if you prefer the original or the new sequel to it. I'd love to hear your input. Don't forget to subscribe and hit the little bell notification to get notified as soon as I drop a new video. And as always, thanks for watching, and I hope you all have a great day.